We do have a question on here that I think is good. That's going to kind of delve into the deeps a little bit more. Dave asks, can you explain the difference between a Christophany and the seed of a woman? And this would be in relation to Christmas because of the seed of a woman is a reference to the virgin birth. But what's the difference between a Christophany and the seed of a woman?
Oh, you mean as far as Jesus coming?
Yeah, I assume so. That's what.
When you're talking about a Christophany, it's specifically it's a Christophany is the idea that Jesus appears as God in the Old Testament. When you get to John chapter 1 and verse 18, it says, "No man has seen God at any time, but the only begotten Son who's in the bosom of the Father, he's declared him or he has revealed him." And so what John is telling you isn't that nobody's seen God. What he's telling you is that when they have seen God, they were actually seeing Jesus. And so Jesus has always been the revealer of God. And so that's where the term Christophany comes from. It actually comes from theophany, and that's a revelation of God out of, it's Greek, or it comes from Greek. And it means a revelation of God. And Christophany is a revelation of Christ. And so before the incarnation, when Jesus comes in human flesh, what you have is God just appearing, obviously in a body, in a form that people can recognize and that people can see. The difference between that and the appearance of Jesus in the flesh is the fact that in a Christophany, Jesus isn't born. He shows up, And in the seed of the woman, the whole incarnation, what you have is specifically a fulfillment of the promise that there was going to be a child, there was going to be a son. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. And the government will be upon his shoulder, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. And so what you have in the incarnation is Jesus actually going through the birth canal, being a baby, being born, growing up as a child, increasing in wisdom and stature, as it says in Luke chapter 2, and finally being a rabbi and teaching the disciples about what God desires for us and from us, and finally going to the cross. And so the difference is humanity versus just an appearance of God.
Right. That's good. Dave, if you have any more questions about that, just go ahead and post right under your comment, and maybe if we're taking the right angle. But hopefully that answered your question.